What's up, everybody? It's Evan with Fifth Third Trading, back again with another watch list for you. Today is December 1st, and we're going to talk about tomorrow, December 2nd, Wednesday. This will be a watch list of about 10 plays for you that you can play tomorrow. These are all great plays you can hold for a few days. If you get in too early, you'll still make a profit. If these tank on you, you have a stop loss ready to go. We're going to talk about the risk, the reward, what I see in them, the convergence and confirmations, everything you want to see before you buy a stock. If you're a 9-to-5 trader, these are perfect plays for you. If you're an intermediate trader and you want to have some stocks that aren't, big caps or pennies, kind of put in your portfolio to make you a few percentage points over time and really kind of give you some leeway with your capital, these are fantastic plays as well. With all that being said, if you want to join my Twitter, pow, and you want to kind of follow me on TikTok, boom, whatever you want to do, go ahead and follow me. Subscribe up here, right? Go ahead and follow me on all these platforms to be up to date with everything I'm talking about. With no further ado, let's get into it. So our first play today is CINF. I had a few requests to take out some lines that weren't necessarily important to this. You can definitely see a support line here, among other things, but to make it a little more clear for everybody, I took some stuff out. If you want the real in-depth stuff, please let me know. I can email it to you. CINF is a very simple play. We have a very long-term channel right here, as you can see. Now, it is a little, long, maybe it doesn't really count. Maybe this is more of a support area, but again, if it follows support areas, well, good news, we're at a support. And it did bounce within this channel. We did miss about 6% of this move. That means you have a little bit more risk to be taken on here. What's important though is you can see this massive volume spike right here, which shows a lot of folks bought in, and then you see it's preceded by a lot of smaller ones. So I think this one has a lot of opportunity to keep running on you. If you buy in now, we're talking a good 7 or 8%, maybe even 10%. When it comes to risk, I would just cut below the 50 EMA line here, about 2.5% down, somewhere in the $78 range. So if it doesn't hold, you can just cut it. The stochastic is a little exerted, but the MACD just crossed over, and we can see it has pretty big peaks of MACD, and it just started. So I'll go against the stochastic on this one and go with the MACD for this. RSI is a little oversold, but I think what's going to happen is it's going to kind of go up, may come down a little bit, and then take off. I think CINF, even if you don't play it today, is a fantastic stock just for its channel. It goes up and down, up and down. When it really does a full movement, we're talking 10% really easily. So with the channel, the 200 MA support, with the support line and all this, I would go long tomorrow or the next day. Next is CVET. As you can see, it's very similar to CINF. There's two big differences. One, it is above a support and it just tapped. And then two, the channel is a little bit farther away. You may be thinking that's not very far away at all. But there's two schools of thought you need to have for this kind of play. This channel right here is a support channel. It comes in, it comes out. Like our play with AXU the other week, a lot of these plays I find areas of value and then they pop out and keep going. There's a chance that CVET is going to come back down that channel and then go right back up. The reason I'm nervous, if you're new to this, is that this stock will go up and down 16%, 17%, go up 25%. This thing is extremely volatile. It'll go up a lot and go down a lot. If you trust the channel right here, I'd buy in as soon as it tapped it. It's getting very close. It may take off without you. If you're advert to risk and you're very afraid of risk, wait. Okay? You have two options. You can wait and then let it go in the channel, touch the 200 EMA and the support line, it'll take off. That's probably your best bet. If you want to get in and not miss the move, you may want to go long now, but you're willing to risk then 6%, 7%, right? And that's if it bounces back. You've given up that kind of money to then have this opportunity. It may not hold. Now, I'm assuming it's going to hold. It's held forever. So if you hold this, you're going to make money. But if you're wanting to kind of make some quick money, it's moving up as we speak. Maybe tomorrow when we come back to it, it may be up. But we're talking easily 13%, this thing could easily make 20-30% for you in a few days. So I like it a lot. It's very volatile, which makes some folks nervous, but it's retesting the support. The stochastic is low. It's a pretty fair price. This thing will be taken off eventually. Watchlist it or buy it tomorrow. Stoch, again, we have a very long-term channel. This is a very common play for us today because we had a lot of green, so we kind of have to go back in time to find some other plays for you and add to your watch list for you. Stoch is about to tap that channel. It just did. Now, you look back at historical reversals, 5 or 6 candles. It takes its time, right? Even in the channel, it kind of takes its time with 3 or 4 candles. So I would not rush this. I would give Stoch a day or two. This candle shows you that it tested this resistance and these 2 MA lines and it didn't live. Once the price overtakes it, as you can see, it makes big moves. So you buy in now, we can hope in the next 4%, which is green, it overtakes these 2 MA lines and then it takes off again, and hopefully we can reach up to this $20.11. I wouldn't bet on that. I'd bet way closer to this $19 area. That's still a 10% move. If you don't like risk, I would wait for it to cross both MA lines. If you think the channel and support are great, go in now. I would definitely buy it as soon as possible. I can't see it getting any lower. Maybe it drops down here, but again, we would just cut it at 16.5. So you're taking on a little bit of risk here. All right, 7% if you want to really hold this. I would cut it at 16.94. At this point, I wouldn't buy it right now. I'd give it a few days just to see for my own personal preference. But if you trust the MACD crossing over and it was recently a good price and you can see this volume is kind of picking up a little bit, it's kind of, we have some folks buying in, that would go long. Worst case scenario, you hold it for a week or two and eventually you will make some money. It's some beautiful price action. I would go long as soon as I saw a little bit of life. EQT, QT, that's me. As you can see, it's getting close to the channel. There's 2 lines here. I have a white one and the golden one. The white one's much more temporary. There is a chance, and it looks like it's trying to bounce back right now. Now it's extremely low volume. Okay, it's not a lot. So I wouldn't put a lot of weight in that at 2:30 on Tuesday. But if it does come down and tap this and keep going, well then we got ourselves an even more tight ascending triangle, right? Because this line right here can easily be shaped like that, and you kind of come over here and see it's an ascending triangle as time goes on. We have one pop here, but besides that, this whole entire thing is an ascending triangle. The stochastic is pretty exhausted. It's at 42 on the RSI. So yeah, it has a little bit of room to drop, I would say. I would definitely give it a day or two. If it hits this golden channel in 13.7, anywhere in there, go long, you're going to make some money. I mean, we're talking easily 15-20% if that happens. If we see some life tomorrow and this support lives, we're talking a good 9% and a lot safer of a play. Of course, your stop losses should be beneath, if you buy here, about 14.10. If you buy in the golden channel, 13, right? Make sure it's always below your support areas. And again, we have the 200 EMA and 50 EMA all above it. So again, that's probably going to push it down a little bit farther. That's why I say probably the golden channel is your best bet. HLitty. We bought HLit down here. We wrote it on up. We sold it the other day. And now we kind of have to rebuy back in. I mean, you could hold it the whole time. That's some people's preferences. I like to cut and rebuy in to make sure I don't lose any money. We're getting pretty low to this channel. If it taps it again, you only have 4 hours to 8 hours to get your maximum profit. So there's a chance you want to buy in now. I think that's fine because the 200 EMA is like 3.8% away. You can give it some time, but that's not a lot of risk. That's like 15, 20 bucks for me. I'm not losing sleep over that. And again, the main picture here is that we have this long-term ascension, right? Once it breaks above this resistance line, a good chance we're going to make it up here. That's 16%. That's not unheard of, obviously. So I think this is a great buy at the moment. Stochastic is absolutely dirt poor. RSI is getting there and catching up. I'll just wait, put an alert above it like this. You can put an alert above it, wherever you think is good. Put an alert below it. Put a little alert below it. I mumble sometimes. Just like that. And now you'll know. You don't got to watch it or wait. You just see what it says. You'll get on your phone or your laptop. It'll say, oh, HLIT, HLIT at 650. Well, then you know to go long, right? If it says, oh, HLIT is at, 630. Okay, then you know just to wait a little bit longer to show some life, right? But this is a great setup. Put it on your watch list. Once it breaks above, we're talking 15%. JD, a very simple play here. I took all the nonsense out. We have a previous support and resistance that's super strong here. I mean, it's held a bunch of price action, except for a guy blown through. It's been holding. Well, here we are again. We're maybe 2% above that, and right below it is a 200 EMA. This is going to be a retest. It's going to try this area again and then go back up. This may not look very severe, but again, if you zoom in, even these candles are 6%, 6%. So I think worst case, if this holds, you hold it for a long time, eventually it's going to pop again. Best, that's your worst case. Your best case is you buy in tomorrow or the next day, you get a quick 6%, quick 7%, and it pops really, really soon, or you hold it and now you just abuse this new channel. There's a chance that this is going to become its own channel right here, going up and down, 6% as much as you want, all you can eat 6% buffet. Hopefully that's what happens with this stock. But JD is a great one to go along with. It's really popular in the news. A lot of folks have been talking about it. We bought it in down here and rode it all the way up. That was a great time for everybody involved. So I think, again, it's going to retest this 200 EMA for the first time in a long time and then shoot up really far. It's a great one to watch after. NSA, the National Storage Affiliates, not the people at the airport. Although I'm sure if they had a stock, it would go bankrupt. Shade. As you can see, it just tested the 200 EMA and the support area, and it lived, right? I could have called it earlier, but again, I wasn't quite sure. This is on my list of stocks that broke previous resistances. I was playing with it this whole entire time, and then it broke above, and I was like, damn. So now that it's retesting it finally, I would go long. It's not going to be very volatile, right? If it goes all the way up, you may think that's a huge move. It's only 8%. Right, you can make more money off 10 minutes of CVET than this. But again, if you're a beginner and you want to kind of work on your holding skills, fantastic play for you, right? Not very, very volatile. You can even see from back here and up, it's ridden this whole entire triangle the whole way. It really is just a slow moving, nice wavy stock, right? And we're waving back up now. So the Stoch just crossed over, MACD's coming up, the RSI was just oversold. I will go long tomorrow. Okay, if it doesn't hold above the 50 EMA, you'll make a percent, you cut it. If it drops below the support on the 200 EMA, you cut it. Okay, simple stuff. Let it go long, let it ride, see what you can get out of it. Worst case, a great beginner stock to work on your nerves and to work on what you want to hold and kind of watch it go up and down. You can hold through it, you can kind of teach yourself. These are great stocks to hold and to learn from. I like NSA a lot. O, we called O the other week. We're calling it again. O is in this channel. It loves to be in this channel. This channel is about 7%, 6% wide. Any given time. It's at the bottom of this channel, and this is a long-term triangle. Again, this is a stretch, that folks are going to see this, but long-term traders like me do see it, right? You may think, oh, it's 6 months ago, who cares? I cares, right? Folks like me who swing trade do care. So it just tapped in the channel and the support. It's only up 1% from there, so you got plenty of move left. It does respect the 50 EMA way more than a 200, and that's also above it. If it breaks above that, we're talking another 3% added to your gains. This is a good 6%, 7% to be made. Worst case, you cut it outside the golden triangle at the bottom. The Stoch is still really low. It's still below zero. MACD is showing some life. RSI was recently oversold. So it has all the confirmation things you want to see. I would go long tomorrow, and I hope that this breaks out. It's going to break out eventually. We called AQB the other week. Very same setup, right? It's super similar, and that was a 50% play. So I have a feeling that O may not be as volatile, but it has a very similar setup. And again, I like that a lot. O, go long. You can't spell long without O. I still have no friends. Our RC we have called multiple times, and here we are again. We have our 200 EMA, 50 EMA, support, and a channel. This is convergence in action. Is it negative convergence? I can't really tell yet, right? But is it positive? Quite possibly. We'll see what this hammer makes out. If this hammer right here holds inside of it and even goes green maybe, that's a fantastic sign. Worst case is you buy in, you cut below $7. We're talking what, maybe 1% or 2%? Yeah, 3% you may lose, and then you can rebuy in towards 670, and worst case you buy in down in this channel area whenever it shows life. If it goes long here and survives, good chance it's going to break above that resistance, 29%. Worst case, you sell at $8 and make 9%. I mean, we're talking 3 to 9. It's a 3-1 ratio. Stochastic can't go much lower. The MACD's crossing, but again, I think as you see historically, they'll cross and then come back up and come back up. It has a history of really long MACD movements, so I don't think this is that important, to be honest with you. But the Stoch is much more relevant to its movements. It's much more severe. So I think the Stoch coming down this low, again, it has room to drop. It does, but in the last 6 months, it hasn't gotten this low really. So I think right here is a great value. You're putting your money out there 3 to 1 to play in this triangle formation. It breaks above and goes long, which it has a history of doing. You're talking 30%. SKX is a great looking stock. As you can see, it's a very similar ascending triangle as many stocks have. This is the 20-day, 1-hour stock chart. As you can see, these big moves make a new channel, and then here we are. It likes to respect the 200 EMA on this time frame. It's holding right above it in this channel at a support. Now, is it going to be a huge move? No, we're talking possibly 5% worst case. And if it really breaks above it, maybe 7 or 8%. But again, we're putting ourselves in these situations to make really, really big gains. Do I think it's going to blast through this and go, $80? No, I do not. But do I think you can put 5,000, 2,000, 500, a good amount of money into this and then not lose sleep over it? Yeah, for sure. You put $1,000 and you get the whole move. It's $90. Okay, that's nothing, nothing to wink at, nothing to have, nothing to laugh at. It has a lot of movement going on. It's a perfect setup for an ascending triangle. You can see the stochastic is just going back and forth, back and forth. Right here, it is at again. I'm going to buy it probably before I go home today. And it's going to go up, and it's going to make me some money at least, right? It's a good call. Last but not least, the same theme of the day are these long channels. WCN has some room to drop. It also has some room to make some big gains. Now, it's a $100 stock, so I mean, anything you buy into this rate, every dollar up is a percent. So we have a good, 7% of headway above us that we can make some really good ground in and make some money off of. We also have the channel and the 200 EMA a good distance away. So what's more powerful? This support, which is very strong, or these two lines that are also very strong. It is at an RSI of 38. It's going to come up on some people's scanners. Folks will start scanning it for oversold plays. This will show up. The MACD, as you can see, it has a history of these long bowing motions, right? So if once it crosses, it will take off. And again, this is a great beginner stock. Just like our play with DOC and NSA, you're not going to lose a bunch of money. You're not going to gain a bunch of money, but you won't lose a bunch of money. You can put some money into this. If it hits that channel and line, put more into it and go long. You may think, hey, I want to play the support line. Historically, you'll make, 3% at worst. But again, we're working on our nerves. We're going to work on these things. We're going to kind of build up to some bigger plays. A great beginner stock, an easy read. If you have a lot of capital, you can put this into it and not lose sleep over it. I like it a lot. A great stock to watch list as it keeps moving up. And there you have it. Those are our 11 plays for the day. A lot of them are very similar. You can see a trend of me liking these triangle plays. That's just because in principle, triangles show bullish strength and bearish weakness. I like to go long. You could probably do the opposite of what I do and just do a lot of shorting, but I don't do shorting. I just do my one specific thing, but I do it very well. With that being said, if this is interesting to you, if this is good content, please consider subscribing up there. It means a lot to me. I really put a lot of work into this. I want to help people. If you can share the video, also fantastic. My Twitter has live updates. right down there for you if you like to watch me dance. Just kidding. But you want to do some live small snippets and you want to do 1-minute videos about some of these stocks, go to my TikTok over there. With that being said, happy December to you. Happy trading. We'll see you guys tomorrow.